A different conversation. A different conversation. Tune in. We here tonight. End of the week, I'm checking the score. Names on the board, and I want a little more. Different take when the whole crew talk. Same old teams, but the view still sparks. We've been collecting every win, every bruise, every close call, every headline news. Breaking it down where the real ones sit. One more round and we all say this. Tune in, lean in, bring your own opinion. Tell me who you riding with, tell me what you feeling. From the first whistle to the last play gone, we've been on that same page all week long. A different conversation. A different conversation. Break it down with the fellas, yeah, it feels so right. Yeah.
Yes, sir. We are
Yes, sir.
live Friday night, collecting and connecting with a different conversation as usual on Friday night. I'm going to go ahead and get this link out while people are joining in. Kem, how the hell are you today on this wonderful Friday night? It's really nice out there.
Yes, man. Not too hot, not too chilly, not too humid. You know what I mean? Perfect beginning to the summer. You know what I'm saying? Beautiful, yes, man. Sir. Beautiful, for sure.
Hell yeah. So, yeah, I'm going to go ahead and get this shared. It's going to be up on our X page.
Okay.
And then
boom, bow, bit.
Page, the Saxby X page. Come tune in. We getting ready for NFL. I had some Knicks talk. Maybe a little Giannis talk. Angel Reese versus Caitlin Clark. And more. What is up, everybody?
Yeah. Wow, man. So listen, man, what do you think about the 2016 Cleveland Cavaliers 10th anniversary or 10th reunion, however you want to put it, trip where they all met up and all that?
It's funny that you brought that up because I was looking into that, just seeing some of the funny stuff that came from that. So like they're mad at Kyrie Irving for not going because he went to a kids basketball camp, I believe. And then on top of that, J.R. Smith said that him and Iman Shumpert would have locked Jalen Brunson down. Bad stuff. But how do you feel about it? You brought it up, King. You must have an opinion on it.
Well, no, I just didn't know if you kind of took it in and you kind of, I guess you told me how you felt about it. You know what I mean? Yeah. Basically on what was brought up about Jalen Brunson and everything was kind of the highlight for me. And seeing how serious, you know, they were in it, knowing for sure that Iman Shumpert is the ultimate competitor. You know what I mean? Even in the commentary that he gives now, you know what I mean, giving his guest spots throughout, you know what I mean, and being on podcasts, it's not far for me or hard for me to believe that he would say something like that, or J.R. Smith, you know what I mean?
J.R. Smith's the one that said it.
Yeah, absolutely. But my point is it don't, like, they're competitors, bro. Like, why wouldn't they say something like that if asked that? You know what I mean? Like, even if we know it to be untrue, like, it doesn't make any sense.
But man, how do you feel about them getting mad at Kyrie?
I mean, what can you say? I mean, Kyrie is on a tour. If you're paying attention to social media or Kyrie's social media at all, you know what I mean? This is what he does every year. You know what I mean? System launch since he departed from Nike. You know what I mean? His focus is making sure that he continues to grab the next generation, which is the youth. You know what I'm saying? And everything. Anyway, in the clinics that he's putting on, he looks really, really good, man. I can't wait. You know what I mean, for the season. I know it just ended, but you know what I'm saying? Like, at the end of the day, I can't wait. But yeah, I don't think I have a problem with that. I think that overall, those guys are in points of their career where he was the young pup anyway, right? They're a little bit older than him, you know what I mean? And kind of all of them are kind of finished playing besides, you know what I mean, LeBron and him. So at the end of the day, what he's doing is a part of making sure that he's ready for the season as well. You know what I mean? So I ain't got nothing wrong with that. There ain't nothing wrong with that at all. That's almost like the trip when you lose the playoffs. You know what I mean? Like, even though it's the trip, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's the one where you're away with your team. You know what I mean? Like, you know, but right now, you know, no, it makes sense.
Yeah, man. So the New York Knicks, they won the NBA championship, bud. I think the last time that we were on stream, I think the Knicks, they went up 2-1, I believe.
Yeah.
But it was 2 Fridays ago. I forget. I think they were up at some point there. Well, where do you want to begin with that, man?
Well, I'll let you begin being the Knicks fan. You know what I'm saying? You can kick that off.
Yeah, man. I know earlier, while we were recording, yes, as you guys know, we record every Fridays. Make sure you guys go subscribe to us. Put in a different conversation on YouTube or the first thing that comes out or comes up on the search results. But yeah, man, I think the New York Knicks winning, I think it was a really great moment. I think this might be a wild take, but like Jalen Brunson just became basically Derek Jeter of New York. Obviously, not
New York basketball.
Yeah, not like 5 championships, but that's kind of how much a New York Knicks championship is worth at today's age, since they haven't won it in so long, since they went through so much. This ring really, really kind of just solidified a lot of legacies in one. Cat solidified, OG solidified, Jalen solidified as, all-time greats now. So
no, slow down, Playboy, slow down. They're solidified as champions.
As all-time greats?
I had a sip, so please watch the tape.
No, that's fine, bro. You're misunderstanding. No, because you're misunderstanding me saying all-time great as like top 10 all-time or anything.
Okay.
No,
in Knicks
they're
history,
all-time greats. Yes, in NBA history, they're all-time greats now. Yes,
they are not all-time greats in NBA history. No, they are not. What do you mean,
bro? A Knicks ring means so much.
Okay. All right. They are not all-time greats in NBA history. They are all-time greats in Knicks history for bringing them the banner after 53 years. What they have done through the playoffs, the actual differential and what they did against teams is an all-time record. Like that is, you know what I mean? It's up there. But they are not. You can't put Cat into an all-time great conversation off of one championship. You can't do that.
You can, but like you're thinking me saying like all-time great is like, like top echelon of sports. There's a lot of all-time greats. Like, like come on.
Yeah, man, but I'm not here to do that. I'm not here to just have 100,000 all-time greats. No, I'm not with
that. 100. Okay, so 100,000 is crazy.
No, but you understand what I'm saying. Listen, man, like, I mean, to be honest, right? The history in which they are going to be a part of, we cannot dispute. They are going down in Knicks history. 53 years. They were able to bring over 1 million people out to a parade. You understand what I'm saying? Which tells you the desperation in which the city sought this championship. All right. Me living in New York, being a Laker fan, I am not going to sit here and act like that is not something really, really great. What they did in winning the in-season tournament, right? Not choosing to put that banner up and literally accomplishing the mission of also winning the other big tournament, right? Making it through the playoffs and then winning the big game. They literally can raise 2 banners, okay? But this does not put the players themselves in all-time great categories, right? They have to continue to be other greats to be considered all-time great. You know why I like Jordan and Pippen and those guys? Because of who they beat at the time that they beat. They were beating Charles Barkley, Hakeem Olajuwon, Clyde Drexler. You know what I mean? Like, they were beating so many greats that would have Patrick Ewing, your Knicks, okay? John Starks, people that are actual greats. And that's how they got the all-time great status, by actually beating other greats. In this run in which the Knicks had, the only great that they actually have on their resume is going to be a future great in Victor Wembanyama.
Okay. I'll let you have that opinion. I mean, I don't. Okay.
And come on, man. And I champion them boys, but don't make me be one of those guys that dissect if you say something, I'm going to have to dissect it in a specific way. You know what I mean? But listen, man, I believe in everything that you say.
I think the logic is just a little bit flawed. I mean, because like, if you look at the teams that they beat, the Hawks were they were the greatest second half team this year. And then you go on to the next team, which is the 76ers, who just beat the Celtics. They came back from 3-1 and beat the Celtics. And then the Cavs beat the number 1 seeded Pistons. And then the Knicks beat the Spurs. I'm not hearing about any of this stuff about how like this run wasn't good, because the Thunder and the Spurs. Cam, I asked you. I said, "Hey man, do the Knicks have a chance at a championship?" You said, hey man, they might make it to 7 games, man. I think they'll get to 7 games. And then other people were saying the Spurs and the Thunder, they were playing for the championship. You know what I'm saying? But then when the Knicks win, let's flip the narrative to say, they had an easy run.
Let me let my boy go. It was easy. All right, now tell me this. When I said that it may go 7 games, what series were we in?
We were in the Eastern. This was after the Knicks advanced. And
no, it wasn't.
Yes, it was.
No, this was
because we were talking about the Knicks.
The Spurs and the OKC hadn't even been done yet. The Spurs and OKC hadn't even been done yet.
Cavs and 4, and the other series
wait a
still
second.
going on.
The Spurs and the OKC Thunder had not been done yet, and we were making a projection pick. If you look at anything that I say in a play-by-play, don't play with me like that, brother, because you know how I am. I'll give a take. I don't even like to rank things because I don't like to be optimistic as it pertains in sports. I like to wait for the matchup to actually happen, and then we call the game as it pertains to the matchup. And you know for sure that I was dead on as it pertained to the matchup as the game happened once we got to the games. Now, in that early projection, I was definitely saying the Knicks should make it 7 games by how good San Antonio was looking at the time when they was putting belt their ass to the OKC Thunder, the last champions. But I also thought that the Knicks had a better matchup against the Spurs, in which why I said 7 games. So now when we get to the matchups, right, it's times that we watch. Hey, the people who are tapped in, who are about to be here with us now, know I was actually telling you to calm down because I knew that the Knicks have not even a second half game. I think they have a very good closing game, right? A very good last fourth quarter. You know what I mean? The best fourth quarter in basketball. You know what I'm saying? So when it comes to that, I think that I want you to have the chip, bro. I know that it's been a long time, but you can't do that because I have a few of them being a Laker, right? And I know for sure that it takes a little bit more, right, in order for us to be. Why do you think Kobe wanted to make sure that he won another one without Shaq? Do you understand what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, it's some things that are still questioned. You know what I mean? Until we do it again. And then we do it again, right? So because we're taking everybody's best shot too. Yeah. So not all time great yet. Great.
Whatever your point is, and no, I'm just kidding. I'm just playing with you.
They're not all time great. Man, that was the point.
I think we can agree to disagree on that. I don't think we should spend an hour arguing about the all-time greats and all that shit. Because the Knicks won the championship, no matter what. At the end of the day, the Knicks are the champions, and it just is what it is. Everyone got to be okay with that. It's funny seeing all the saltiness from Boston fans, Indiana fans, especially the Pacers fans.
All right, Paulie. Paulie's actually correct. Now, Paulie, I'll get with that 100%. Excuse me, Tom, before I go, though. Yes, before I let you go, absolutely they are one of the all-time great comeback teams in NBA history. Absolutely, without a question. Absolutely.
Yes, sir. Absolutely. All right, man. Yeah, I mean, we'll take that. I mean, no matter what, we got the championship, so it don't matter what the narrative is. But they're all-time greats in my eyes, in my heart.
That's my boy. That's my boy. I ain't mad at you. Please love it.
So Paulie also asked, he said, on the live stream, make sure you guys comment if you guys are watching for a chance at a giveaway for Stefan Castle's bag work. So what is your NBA MVP pick for next season? What's your take on that, King?
For next season, man. Listen,
are we seeing a three-peat?
Listen, you already know how I feel about that. He goes from the back-to-back MVP to the MVP clutch player, right? Just missed the actual points thing, right? But I love what I just saw Chewy Wolf put in there, right? Depending on where he go, right? That is up there. But at the end of the day, I think that with the sour taste that the young boy just tasted, right, along with the bad press that he got for not shaking hands, he may come out on a tear. Now, if you get that same 24, 12, 5 assists and 4 blocks is for the whole time, I don't think it's just DPOY, you know what I mean, for the year. I think that he actually could win the MVP, regardless of how the year ended off. What we know about him is how he's going to take this loss. He's going to come back with a vengeance, actually even talking about knowing that he has to play 100 games before he even has a chance to feel this kind of feeling again. So I'm going to go with him this year. Mm-hmm.
Well, man, my MVP pick is going to be Jalen Brunson. I think I'm just I was going to see how long I could go with that, but I already as people are pouring in now. My goodness, but yeah, no, I think if I was to give a legitimate MVP, we kind of talked about it earlier today. I think I gotta go with Anthony Edwards for next year, man. Listen,
I like that though. I like
Shea
that.
3P could easily happen. You know, Wemby could easily run away with this thing. But I think I got Anthony Edwards, man. I think after what happened last year, they came up short, and a lot of it, you know, had to do with the injury that he sustained. You know, at the end of the run there, because I think they could have had a puncher's chance. They could have had a fighting chance if he was fully healthy. Even though, you know, they were pulling off miraculous things while he wasn't, you know, there. But I think with him, you know, being there actually on the team, I think they're forced to make some moves too. I think we're gonna see them get rid of Julius Randle. They might make some free agent signings. Might make a big trade for, you know, either, you know, John Morant or, you know, Kawhi. There's a lot of things floating around out there right now that Minnesota's interested in doing. But I think no matter what, I think Anthony Edwards is going to be absolutely nuclear next season. I think he's going to carry the Timberwolves to maybe the 1st or 2nd seed, even the 3rd. If you want to put San Antonio and OKC above them still, that's fine. Because I think he's going to have a sensational
Yeah, that doesn't matter. Yeah.
I think he's going to average 30. I think he wants it. I think he's knowing the competitor that Anthony Edwards is. It's like I told you earlier. I think he's going to be really upset with how this year ended. He's going to put a lot of that on his shoulders, and I think he's going to absolutely make the league suffer. And on a team that doesn't have Julius Randle anymore, I think Minnesota will be way more competitive. So I gotta slide with Anthony Edwards here.
So excuse me. The only thing about that is Julius is still a matchup nightmare though. So it's like, you know what I mean? Like in certain instances, you know what I mean?
He's a matchup nightmare for, like, you know, in the regular season when you're just seeing teams one time. But like once you get to the playoffs, it's just
but he doesn't. I don't like how he doesn't assert himself in the other roles that he could play. Like, you know what I mean? Like we're being like super. You could be aggressive rebounder. You know what I mean? And things like it's so crazy. He could still even initiate offense. He could do the cat thing. You understand what I'm saying? Like literally, in what we saw Cat transform into. And listen, man, before we go any further, man, please don't make me do that, man. You know I'm happy for the Knicks winning. It just was an all-time thing.
You're still going on.
Because I believe in what you said. The world's going to be in a better place just because they won. Man. You know what I'm saying?
See, man, and nothing too crazy happened at the New York City parade either, man.
At all. Just
yeah. Speaking of that, man, that was fun. I don't know. You know, I love this. I love this so much. I'm gonna be like watching stuff about this all summer long. Already ready for, you know, next season. You know, it was, like I said earlier, man, it was really fun covering that season with you. It was like, what a season, man. Like we had fun in the regular season, and then the playoffs was just absolute like just cinema. Like, you know, the East was a war before the Knicks absolutely ran through everybody. The Spurs, we begged the NBA gods for Spurs and Thunder.
They gave us what we wanted.
Yeah, we got 41-year-old LeBron, you know, not carrying, but helping the Lakers, you know, win the series. It was cool, man. Like the whole season was absolutely cool. I saw a question earlier. Do you think Luka Doncic is under the most pressure to win an NBA championship now?
Yeah, now you may not have remembered, but yes, man, I believe that we had a kind of a conversation
with like Josh Allen and
yeah, absolutely, yes, you know what I mean. Like, so I agree that he is. Now, I think that Josh Allen, in that conversation that we were having at that time, I think that more is on Josh Allen because of the MVP and everything like that, which Luka is yet to get. Now, at the end of the day, but it's without a question, already making it to the finals and things of that nature. It is without a doubt he has a lot of pressure on him. We know that a title can't be won with him, Austin Reeves, and LeBron James. So let's go ahead and clear the air on that. Okay. I think that everybody also knows that. Everybody does know, right? He's looking for another big, right? We know that DeAndre Ayton is probably going to spin off, right? Everybody's been talking a little bit about Jalen Duren, but I'm not sure that he would be enough either. You know what I mean? In what finals Luka looked like before, you know what I mean? Jackson Hayes is developed very well with playing with Luka. You know what I mean? I think that you've seen a rise in at least the moxie, you know what I'm saying, to commit to offense and defense. But to answer your question, without a doubt, you know what I mean? Luka is under pressure. We already kind of spoke about it a little bit earlier. The failure to complete the seasons, the season that he came into us with throughout the trade. I understand being butthurt, you know what I mean, through that trade and not knowing that something like that was going to happen while having a house being built, you know what I mean, at the same time. For real, right? Then coming back, making Men's Health for the dad bod God, beating the dad bod God rather, right? But still not being able to fully commit himself to defense, right? And not finish out the season. So without a doubt, bro, let me chill. He is under.
Yeah, because I think I think Embiid's image is already, you know, kind of all over the place. The MVP helps a little bit. But that's what Luka doesn't have. He doesn't have an MVP. So as these seasons go on without an MVP or a ring, a lot of people are going to start questioning, and you know they're going to start throwing him in kind of like Carmelo Anthony conversations. Even though we know Luka's better than Melo, but that's kind of how, you know, Melo's career went too, right? Like at some point we were just like, okay, well, where's your ring? Where's your MVP? Where's your actual, you know, there? But I mean, you know, Luka, you know, he made the finals, but it's just not enough in today's, you know, media-driven world. So because if you look at like the consensus top 6 players in the league, and this is including, I say top 6 because this is including Jalen Brunson. A lot of people will put him up in, you know, that top 6 now. We talked about it earlier.
Without a question, he's jumped.
So out of the top 6, him and Wemby are the only ones that are ringless. But Wemby's, you know, 22, 23, and
absolutely,
it's kind of it's almost written in the stars that he's gonna get it.
Absolutely,
at least at some point. So you know, when it comes to Luka, man, it's a lot of pressure. It's just like, you know, in the NFL. I think I disagree with you a little bit on the Josh Allen thing, because I think as it's shown, I think no matter what Josh Allen does, the NFL is still gonna love him and make him the poster boy, and everyone's still gonna love watching him and loving him and, you know, not criticizing him. I think Lamar Jackson, unfortunately, is the pressure.
So listen, Baltimore has never made it back to back without winning, back to back without winning, right? But Baltimore doesn't also have a hockey that is also like, because it's a cold weather town that also makes it and doesn't win, right? I am telling you, just through fandom, right? I believe just through fandom that Josh Allen is under way more pressure, right? Just from the Bills' rich heritage, who he actually is and who he actually embodies.
I see when you said through the history, like Bills history.
Without a question, yes, he's under way more pressure with who he is. Versus who Jim Kelly was to make it back to back. You know, come on, man. Of course, he did still have Thurman Thomas, you know what I mean, and those other guys out there, right? Allen and those boys on defense, but it's no, without a doubt. I believe he's under crazy pressure because he's great. He's a white Lamar Jackson. You know what I'm saying?
It's like your career trajectory is oddly like similar, except like Lamar has, you know, the one more MVP over him. But I mean, I think we could probably also argue that Josh Allen has had MVP years, year after year after year. It's just Lamar happened to win 2, even though I think he should only have 1. I think Dak Prescott should have had the one a couple years ago, but that's neither here nor there.
Okay.
Yeah, man. Speaking of the NFL. Well, actually, no. The NBA. Paulie wants us to talk about the NBA draft. Right?
Come on, let's go. So
let's talk about it, man.
Yeah.
Do you think it's actually set in stone that AJ DeBonce is the number 1 pick?
We know AJ DeBonce is the number 1 pick, but again, I believe still some of the conspiracy theory in which we talked about before, in which everybody knows about Utah, Danny Ainge, his father, what they did for the school, all that stuff to get him out there. But without a question, he is the number 1 pick. Peterson, there isn't enough tape since high school. You know what I mean? He basically did the Anthony Richards thing.
Man.
Yeah, he did the Anthony Richards thing the whole season. Remember when everybody got on Anthony Richardson for like tapping his helmet and all that and being took out the game? That's basically what Peterson did, you know what I mean, throughout most of this season, right? Like he was either cramping and like, no, I can't go, and literally tell him, no, I can't go. You know what I mean? There's pictures of him on the bench, you know what I mean, and all that kind of stuff. But at the end of the day, man, I think that his talent is undeniable in what we saw before. But, man, no, I love AJ as number 1. I don't think that Caleb or Boozer jump to number 1, you know what I mean, over AJ.
Hey, that's fair. And, yeah, man, I mean, you know, when it comes to AJ, man, I mean, averaging 25 in college is absolutely insane. But it's not even just the scoring, because we all know that he can score. It's the fact that he can also play that big man role if you need him, but also play on the wing if you need him, but also scratch boards. He can pass drops a little bit. I like his, I like some of the dimes that he was able to produce when he gets the attention on him. It'll be interesting. The only thing that I think will be interesting to translate to the NBA is the everything besides the scoring. I think his scoring is going to be great, but obviously in college, you're the star of the team, and you're the one that can get those assists, and you can crash doors when you're the star. It'll be interesting to see how he translates into more of a kind of a team role, because if he goes to Washington, he's going to have to be playing around Trae Young, Anthony Davis, all these pieces, Keyshawn George, who I think we can agree he looked like a budding star last year. He had a phenomenal year, and then Alex Sarr, we already know what he brings to the table. So that's going to be a studded rotation of 5. It'll be interesting how they run it out there. But what were you about to say?
Oh no, you were hitting the nail on the head. I was just kind of in that same mix. You know what I mean, as it pertains to AJ, man. He's going to be one of those ones. I'm just not sure. So we've talked about before about who's number one and where they might go, but we never talked about how they would fit, you know what I mean, with what they have. And I think that kind of when we were speaking last year a little bit about what would happen with Cooper Flagg, you know what I mean, with the sum of all parts there, right? I think it's the same for AJ DeBanza this year, right? I think that you get a great development, you know what I mean, with the Trae Young, with the Alex Sarr, with the Keyshawn, with the if you get,
and there'll be so much space on the floor.
75%.
You can't double any one of them
at all. So 75% of AD. Oh my goodness.
That's what I mean. And if AD gets hurt, like you have Riley off the bench, they'll have money. They'll have money to be able to get something to come off the bench. Because I'm pretty sure there's going to be some NBA players out there that are seeing this and like, maybe I should go see what's going on. Because Trae Young, I'm telling you right now, of all the crap that I have ever talked about Trae Young, this is probably going to be the year next year that we see a prime, good, great ass version of Trae Young, because he's going to have so many people to pass to. He's going to be open. The issue in Atlanta was that he was getting doubled way too much because he breaks down under the pressure of a double team. However, in this situation in Washington, as we said, as long as AJ pans out, as long as Sarr and Keyshawn continue to rise like they did last year, you can't double Trae, because that's going to leave one of those other 4 guys open. And God forbid you leave AD open. AD's going to really... Him and Sarr both are going to be crashing the paint, and it's going to be really exciting.
That's nice. That's nice.
That's why I said Trae Young passing to those guys. As long as health stays good, and he, like I said, even if Anthony Davis goes down, man, Riley, he's not a pushover. He played some really good minutes last year and developed really well. So I don't know. I'm excited. I'm excited about Washington for once, man. That's why Trae Young, he said it in his
just to see what they put on the floor, right? You want to see what they put on the floor, and that's all I want to see first is what they put on the floor. And then from there, like, you know what I mean, we can kind of move things around and see who should be getting actions and how the flow should go, right? Because I think we're going to see a totally different Trae Young than we've seen before. Now we already know
he's oddly like really in a good spot mentally.
Yeah, man. I think without a question, he's going to go nuclear from 3. I think if he keeps that percentage in that 41, you know what I mean, or so range with dishing, you know what I mean, how he should have the ability to with the group of guys that he has, he's going to be hitting some big time buckets in some prime spots. He's going to have the opportunity to have like the Dame type of effect, you know what I'm saying, with the squad. You know.
Yeah, I mean, I think the only thing I worry about with the squad is their head coach Brian Keefe. They decided to keep him around. He's only been a head coach for these last couple of years during the rebuild. He's been an assistant since like 2007. He wasn't an assistant of any really good team besides that. He coached KD on the Thunder. You know, the trio, him, Westbrook, and James Harden. Coached them through basically up until Kevin Durant left, and then he coach them on the Nets. So like that's just his experience, his best experiences with KD. So it'll be interesting to see if he can run that like perfectly. I thought it was I would have put a veteran coach in there, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's looking to be good, like based on paper, but it's like you said, we got to see what happens actually on the court, because this could break down. There's
I agree, Mr. Kicker.
And then even in the past, we've seen Anthony Davis and Trae Young not be, the best, teammates or the best, guys around. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah,
Trae Young's not the healthiest guy himself either. He's like Steph. those two, with their ankle injuries, always
yeah.
got. But okay, so
I think I attribute Steph injuries to wearing that Under Armour. You know what I mean? Those sneakers, man, they weren't good for his ankle.
Is it Adidas?
Yeah, he's in Adidas, but he wear the weird ones,
That's
the ones that don't tie up. You know what I'm saying?
Remember, because a lot of people Derrick Rose. I mean, if people remember, like a lot of people made conspiracies about.
That's
my
a fact,
good. Hold on, I gotta. Yeah, we keep keeping that. No, but yeah, like with Adidas, like. Derrick Rose, I remember when he got hurt like 2-3 years in a row when it was the ACL, meniscus, everything all in a row. I think it was 2 meniscuses 2 years in a row. People were just like, oh, it's Adidas. And especially when John Wall started going down, everyone was like, oh my God, Adidas, it's Adidas.
But it's for real though. De'Aaron Fox got ankle things from messing with the Under Armour too, though. Like, you know what I mean? So
that's absolutely insane, man. That's quite the take right there. But what about Darren Peterson? So let's kind of break that down. Do you think that the Jazz will actually skip out on him over all this and take Boozer, knowing that the father's in the organization and everything?
Right.
What's your true take on where you actually think the Jazz should go?
So without a question, I think for all my hip hop heads, his name is DP the Ghost, like SP the Ghost. Darren Peterson the Ghost, right? Because you don't know what he's going to do. But I believe that that's where he's going to fall. It's without a doubt. You understand what I'm saying? Like, he's going to go there. And with the roster that they have, in which we talked about before, I already love the Utah roster. I don't have a problem with the Utah roster. I think that having a guy like him sitting on the bench while he's seeing these other dudes develop, if he can be a part of what they have going on, I would love it. But you already know how I feel about what's going on out there in Utah. I mean, these guys don't know, but I love it. I love the reclamation project in which they have. I don't think that they did any type of tanking last year. I think that we got to see Ace Bailey and those boys kind of get into a situation. Oh, man.
Answer that, Kevin?
Yeah, man. Are we talking about James Todd Smith?
You guys are about to have an uncle.
Yeah, man. Yeah. But I shot you out. I think that's who we're talking about. But yeah, man. So when thinking about Utah, man, I don't want him to, but that also may be what he needs to become the self in which he was highly touted in high school. You know what I mean? And going out somewhere like Utah.
Oh man, I mean, like when it comes to Darren Peterson, man, I mean, it's hard to really give an opinion on him because I said
it. James Todd Smith, I got it right. LL.
Yeah. I mean, like, well, when it comes to Darren Peterson, man, I think there's too many questions for me because is the talent there? Of course. I mean, he's tall. For the point guard. Well, he wants to be a point guard. I think that's the first issue. I think he should absolutely slide in at the shooting guard role play. If he goes to Utah, he would be a wonderful 2 out there. Because I think the lineup that they could run is they could do Keontae George, Darren Peterson, Ace Bailey, Lowry, and Jaren Jackson, and not even worry about where Walker Kessler goes. You can sign and trade him at that point.
But what about Bryce? I like Bryce, bro. You got to keep Sensabaugh in that rotation up there.
Yeah, but who do you take out?
I don't know, but
that's why I agreed with you with your take, because then off the bench you got Isaiah Collier, Sensabaugh, Kyle Filipowski. For what it's worth, you got Yusuf Nurkic. You got money. You got you're probably going to trade Walker Kessler because you don't want to give him money, which I understand. I mean, someone was trying to argue with me about Walker Kessler, saying he's worth 4 years, $140 million, and I was like, for what? He gave 1 good year on a and excuse my language, 1 good year on a shitty Jazz team. Like, okay, he can average you 10 and 10. That's cool, but he got hurt that year. He got hurt last year. Why would you give him 4 years, $140 million? Like that, it doesn't make sense to me.
No,
I absolutely think the Jazz can and will trade him. They're gonna trade him for some pieces. So if they do draft Darren Peterson, slide him in at the 2. But then the only issue you have with that is that he wants to play the 1, which is why I think he falls, because he wants to be the first pick in the draft, but they have Trae Young, so I don't know why you only want to work out with the Wizards so that you can be the number 1 pick, but then you said you only want to be a point guard, but they already have, and I get he declined his option, but we know damn well he's going back. They already have the star point guard, so I don't know what crack you're smoking, Darren Peterson. But that's why I think he's gonna fall, because at the end of the day, he's a 6'5" dude that wants to be a point guard. Can he create his own shot and all that? Yeah. But I don't know if that shot we still don't know if that shot translates to the NBA. It's a little slow for my taste. It's a little clunky, but he did average 39% from the three.
Yes.
So we'll see. You know what I'm saying? So I just don't think the Jazz should take the chance. I think they should go with the smart choice of Boozer, get him in there, and I think Darren Peterson, he's gonna fall, and it's gonna be his fault, because again, I don't know why you would say I'm only going to be a point guard, but then only work out with the Wizards, who already have that figured out. So my bad. I get a little heated.
I'm not sure if the Wizards can share tape and everything like that, but I think that for a lot of these guys too, it's almost like, I don't think they want to take a lot of trips to a lot of different organizations. Then you got to also think, bro, let's be real. Half of these guys have been told they the shit.
Yeah.
Since they've been 16, 15 years old. And with the era that we're living in, with social media being as big as it is, half of them have profiles, that kind of make the decisions for them. You know what I mean? And for him, I think that's what he's fell victim to. Listen, man, it's going to be, I can't wait for him to get to where he needs to go, because I'm in either place, he's not taking over for anyone immediately in the first two picks, right? With that being said, he's going to have to learn the NBA lifestyle regardless, right? So hopefully this makes for a better, DP to Ghost, So that's going to be his name going forward for me, just to see.
I like that.
It's that's what it's going to be, I just have to see, man. But I love if he does go to, or excuse me, if he doesn't, like you said, Boozer is the ultimate fit out there. He's just a consummate pro already as a young boy.
He's going to
do everything that they need him to do.
Yeah, and like I said, that's another reason why I think that they can easily, because
my allergies, man.
Not paying Walker Kessler, which for whatever it's worth, yes, he's overly talented. But I think if you get Boozer, you could slide Jaren Jackson back over to center, have him and Boozer run the 4-5, do whatever you need them to do. Jaren Jackson, he's an established defensive guy. We know that. And then you keep Ace Bailey in the lineup. You have Keontae George, and then you have Lowry, your star right there in the middle of everything. It would just be perfect. That's why I said the fit just doesn't make sense to me. But like I said, the fit didn't make sense for Ace Bailey, and Ace Bailey was also coming into the league, smoking, a little too much weed, and having some crazy opinions like, I don't want to go here, I don't want to go there, getting we all the rumors that he might hold out if he was drafted to the Jazz, and the Jazz were like, we don't give a shit, we're gonna draft him anyway, and it worked. It absolutely worked. By the end, but the third pick being the Memphis Grizzlies, where do you think they should go here? Because they're trying to get something back going after that failure of Ja Morant and Desmond Bane and Dylan Brooks and Jaren Jackson. It's crazy how that fell.
And see, that's where I'd actually like him to go 3, right? I like Boozer to Utah or Debanza just because of how it went. You understand what I'm saying? And him to end up falling at 3, right? Because at the end of the day, I think that him, and depending on what they're doing with Ja, who's been quiet except for the one crazy encounter on living my raps on the boat, right? Which was very, very funny. Knock it off. But him, that would be awesome, because they could switch out 1 and 2, right? And then see what would happen from there. I'm not saying there's any immediate winning or any solving to anything, but I believe that it's good media attention for Memphis, and maybe some kind of draw that can happen, for some trade pieces to get Ja out of there by the deadline. Who knows? You know what I mean? Who knows, man?
It'll be absolutely interesting, because like with Memphis, you already see what this guy is doing in the media and everything. It kind of just gives you you got to have PTSD at this point, because it has to suck for Memphis, because if Ja works out, everyone's probably still together. Everything's probably still peachy over there in Memphis. They're still looking good, whether they have a ring or not. They're still, you can count on them to be in the mix. And then, to this, where it's, you traded Dylan Brooks, you traded Jaren Jackson, you traded, and you traded, who am I missing here? Desmond Bane. And you didn't get much from it. I mean, you got picks. We'll see how that goes and the crazy lottery rules that are ahead of us. But they didn't really – it's not looking like much. So this pick's either going to have to be really big or they're going to be back onto the drawing board next year. And it sucks that they fell third for this because when your options are Darren Peterson or Caleb Wilson, who I love Caleb Wilson at the 4. But, you know, Caleb Wilson, he's going to need a point guard. We don't know if, you know, John Morant is going to be there. So it might actually be Darren Peterson, but I don't know how much of a good thing that is. So, yeah, well, where do you I don't think there's been much rumors on John Morant. Do you think, because I know we've had this conversation a few times, so I'll ask this differently so that I'm not just a broken record.
Okay.
Where do you think John Morant could go to revive his career? Rather than me asking the simple, oh, do you think he still got it? Or, you know,
so is this is a fantasy where I don't have to think about moving anything or anything like that. Just where
where do you think if there was a couple franchises that John Morant could actually go and reclaim
with what they have now and they not have to gut too much and they kind of gotcha.
Obviously there's the risk of him having a big contract, and I don't think a team would have to even give up anything for him because his value is like at a complete negative at the current moment just because of how big his contract is.
Do you know what I think would be fire is if think I'm crazy or not, but I just threw something in there that you didn't even ask, right? But what if Miami was able to work out the Giannis thing and Ja for pennies on a dollar?
Yeah, I think they could, man. I absolutely think they could. I think that puts them right up to salary cap if they do that, and they would keep Wiggins. It's just the only issue with that is how the rest of the team gets filled, because I imagine if they get Ja,
wait, let me finish though, because I want to say something that is a caveat, but I want you to break it down from this. I'm sorry, I know I took long. That's the unk in me. Normally, if Giannis is going by himself, we want Giannis paired with Bam. Am I correct?
Yeah.
But if we're able to get Ja there, do you believe that you still need the pairing with Bam so that it makes a little bit more sense to you? That's what I want to do.
Well, I think no matter what, Bam's not going anywhere. I think that's the thing. I truly thought that Miami should fully rebuild if they don't get Giannis. But if they get Giannis, you know, you have 4 years there where you can go after one, because I think what's going to happen with Giannis, this might be a cold take. I think these next 4, so he's on 1 more year of a contract. If you extend him 4, it'll be 5 total years. I think you'll get 5 years of Giannis, and I'm not going to lie. It might be a bad take, but I think after that contract, Giannis's decline is going to be very heavy, because once his body starts going, I don't know what he truly provides besides maybe being a backup big after he loses his talent. You know what I'm saying?
I don't believe you saying this stuff right now, but
I love Giannis, but when I imagine an old man version of Giannis, that's going to be tough to really, you know, envision, because we already see his body breaking down a lot, like every other year. And then on top of that, if he loses his hops, if he loses his aggression, if he loses any of that, it's tough to see where Giannis actually lands.
Well, he don't have okay, yeah. All right.
But we're talking about 5 years down the road, though.
Yeah.
So I just think these next 5 years are going to be important, especially if Miami gets them. So if you get Ja, that's the only issue, is that they're not going to really have any money after that. So it's going to be Ja, whatever they have. I think Pele Larson would be their shooting guard, who I like. His game is cool. And then you got Wiggins, Bam, or Wiggins, Giannis, and Bam. And then you got to fill out that bench with veterans and whatever else. You're getting rid of your whole future for Giannis. That's the scary thing for Miami, and why I don't truly think they're going to go after Ja or, you know, another big contract to put around those two, because they have to fill out the rest of their team now. Giannis is going to take $70 million. I think Bam's taking 40 or 50 already. So to stay under the second apron, which, you know, Miami, they're cheap. They're gonna stay under that apron. It'll be interesting to see.
Why is that? So just like we were talking a bit earlier, man, that's the part that's bothersome for me is when you actually can put together something that will put you in contention, the second apron shouldn't mean shit for the time that you're going for it, because that's something that you believe in. So it should, especially I'm talking about front office wise, right? Front office, GM, you know what I mean? Head coach, whatever, right? You got your eyes on something, right? That could put you, knowing the landscape and the parity in the NBA that it shifts so hard, you know what I mean, every year. You have the continuity of the Knicks to show you that this is now the blueprint, you know what I mean? Of course, we still got 8 different champions in 8 years, right? All that stuff still is real. But you also have actual data to show you that the Knicks have gotten progressively better every year, you know what I mean, since Jalen Brunson, and how they actually structured everything around his contract, right?
Yeah.
It's crazy to me to think that the second apron would be something that teams would really run from when it is something that you would pay for a year or two, which is actually the real window any damn way that you have.
Let me tell you why.
With the roster. But that's the real window that you have with the roster.
Of course. But let me tell you why the second apron is scary, right?
Mm-hmm.
So the Knicks, let's say, you know, they're going to probably go in with, you know, the starting 5 that they have: Brunson, Hart, Bridges, Cat, and Ogugwa, my guy, Ogugwa. Those 5, and then they're gonna have, for sure, they're gonna have Miles McBride, Kolek, Diodet, and
they may not have Big Mitch.
Yeah, but they probably won't have Mitch. Probably won't have Shamit. They might bring Diawara back, which I hope that kid is good.
Hopefully,
and then they'll have their 3 draft picks, and then whatever veterans want to come over on a veteran minimum. Now the thing is if they push it and try to keep like Mitch or Shamit, or go get a free agent or whatever, and it pushes them over the second apron, the issue with that is that they don't get no mid-level exception. So they'll be, you know, nicked out of adding on to that depth. No contract aggregation, which basically means, you know, you like to pull off a trade. It's even harder to pull off a trade. No cash in trades. They can't send cash. There's no trade exceptions. They can't even do a sign and trade. And then their picks years out get frozen as well. So, you know, with that, and thank you for the 1,000 people that are here. We love that. But with that, you get so many penalties. So then, for example, if Jalen Brunson gets hurt, or Cat gets hurt, or Bridges gets hurt, you can't do nothing at trade deadline to fix that. And on top of that, you know, you're basically frozen from doing anything. And I agree with you. If you have your core, run with it. But, you know, with the Knicks, I mean, it's just, is that really your core? You know what I'm saying? A lot of people, you know, said one thing. Well, the only thing that I agreed with out of everything that the haters said,
because it's almost making me seem like it just makes it seem like the players aren't worth it. You understand what I'm saying? Like, it's one of those things, again, that airs towards the owners, right? But for the fan, right, if you know that, like literally scaling the numbers and know like, oh shit, we're in luxury tax for a year if we actually keep this, and this, but what you gain, you know what I mean, overall, you know what I mean, is almost a shot at the player, you know what I mean, at the players, you know what I mean, to me in those instances, because come on, man, why not do what it takes to win? You know what I mean? You're not cheating, you're just paying a little extra money. You know what I'm saying?
You got to look at it this way too, because you know, the Boston Celtics, they were a team that hit that second apron, and you see how hard it was for them to.
But look how good it was for Golden State and how they still stockpiled and everything like that. They're one.
Yeah, but they were never in the second
right,
apron.
But they in the luxury tax era. But in the luxury tax era, they are great examples of continuing to play the luxury tax.
Of course, because I think the luxury tax is up to your owner, and James Dolan will happily pay the luxury tax. Is just the second apron. Like teams that we've seen hit the second apron, like the Celtics, they weren't able to do nothing. They had to go into the year last year with what they had. The Phoenix Suns, when they had Kevin Durant, Devin Booker, Bradley Beal, they were able.
That's why they had to get rid of Kevin Durant, though.
Right, exactly. But like when they were trying to make that run with Beal, KD, and Booker, they couldn't add anything onto it because they were so frozen. The Timberwolves, you know, back. I don't even know when.
Yeah, but you're missing something in that. Those are players that are also unwilling to take cuts. These are guys that are taking maxes that, you know what I mean, doesn't spread it supplementary. That's what I meant about like the beginning of the structure starts with the starter player that you got in Jalen Brunson that allows you to build out the team. Now, for sure, I don't care, not like that, like I don't care, but there are a couple of players that like are interchangeable and some that are not. You understand what I'm saying? So it's like, that's what I mean, like that. When you have a core of players, like I'm not worried, like the second apron shouldn't matter. You understand what I'm saying? Like not when you have the data, like you have it, you have everything that you need to, of course, everything is about attrition, you know what I mean? And who can make it to the end the most healthy. The Knicks actually did it. You know what I mean? I love how the emblem on the stable, you know what I mean, on the hat is the horse for the stables, because that's how Tibbs actually ran them. You understand what I'm saying? Like thoroughbreds. And now they got the stamina, You know what I mean? Like literal Kentucky Derby
That's
horse.
That's why I said we got to still think Thibs at the end of the day.
Yeah, real talk. You know what
like
I mean?
Also,
because at the
the Knicks, they weren't in the second apron last year, and they were able to get guys at the deadline like Alvarado and Sojan and everything that they did at the trade deadline. Dudes that ended up playing significant roles in the finals. And if people say Sochan didn't, you gotta watch the game and get out of the box. But when it comes to that, it's like the Knicks. It's a team where it's great. It's a great team. Can they run it back? Absolutely. But if one thing goes wrong, it's a team that it's tough. Like let's say Bridges gets hurt or Josh Hart gets hurt. That's hard to replace. You can't just throw Miles McBride in that and go deuce and hope for the best. No, that's a really severe loss.
That's a part of the game. Yeah, that's a part of the game.
So when you have like these exceptions and all this, like it helps you get creative at the trade deadline when you need to be, and especially in free agency when you need to be. So we'll see. I mean, do I think the Knicks should go in the second apron? I think yes, but at the same time, Mitch and Shamet, I truly do believe can be replaced. I think.
See how we got back to the Knicks. See how we got back to the Knicks. You got me. See. That's why I said that. I said earlier. Right? Because at the end of the day, I can't do nothing but talk good about them.
Like so for Miami, like let's say like you trade, so you get Ja Morant, you go into the second apron with Ja, Giannis, and Bam and Wiggins. And
that's scary with that one going into the second apron now.
Yeah, so that was kind of like getting into
that point. That's scary. There's nothing proven.
Because like if Ja truly doesn't work out,
right? That's nothing proven. Yeah, that's scary. Yes, I 100%.
You know what I'm saying? Like, you are screwed if Ja does not work out.
Page.
Because no one's taking that contract off their hands, and on top of that, they want to be able to fill the team out. None of that. It's just a year of purgatory. Giannis gets mad. He wants to go again. That whole thing. But with the Knicks, I don't think they should go into the second apron with Mitch and with Landry. Like, listen, we won a title. Great. I think Landry Shamet played some of the best ball he's ever played in these past couple of years. I think Mitchell Robinson is fried, but. I think they could be replaced. The Knicks have the 24th pick in the draft. Hold on, camera acting up. 1 second, guys. Let me unplug that and plug it back in. It always does this at like the 50-minute mark. It's hilarious.
Okay. Yeah, I think that they said that Mitch being able to ride his Mitch mobile, you know what I mean, on that was pushed up like that through.
Why is my picture like that? Okay,
yeah, that was wild. That was almost like a cartoon. But it said that they said that Mitch being able to drive his car through the parade and everything was almost like a play, like you know what I mean, promotion. They gave him some money, you know what I mean, to kind of clean up.
Here, take $3 million and let's hope this. Let's run this back. I don't know, man.
You know what I mean.
Mr. Robinson's someone that's always wanted to go prove that he's a starting center and go prove that he can make all this money. So by all means, go prove it, man.
So let me ask: is the replaceability based on the worst free throw percentage in NBA
It's
history?
a big part of it, bro, because it's like if the Spurs really wanted to, they could have made sure Mitch didn't enter the game at any point until the last 3 minutes of every quarter, and that would have been torturous with Cat and foul trouble. But they didn't really do the hack and Mitch as much as they maybe should have, because I think they got integrity or whatever.
Right.
But it's a big issue, because also if he was to be physical, he could be in the paint without worrying about what happens at the free throw line. That would be such an advantage, and it's a disadvantage when you're breaking your hand before the finals and you're coming in winded and all this crazy stuff, and it all adds up, because all the Knicks need is they just need a big man that could do what he does but also shoot free throws, and then you can get that at the end of this draft at pick 24. There's a lot of big men that can do exactly that. That's all you need. You just need a guy that is tall enough to get boards, is tall enough to put it back in the hoop, and can actually flick the shot at the free throw line for at least fuck 35%, 40%.
Yeah.
Like
you need,
I'm not even asking
you
for
need
80,
75 or so. That'll
65,
be 75. You could be blowing everybody out. It's not that many comebacks. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly. And then someone like Shamet, like you just go get another veteran shooter to come in. I'm not saying everyone can do what Shamet did or does, and he had a lot of clutch, good shots for sure.
Yeah, there was a time when he was like 75% from three.
He wants to go get a bag, man.
Yeah, he went nuts at a point.
Not a player in the draft, maybe in the league that's a better offensive rebound. And I agree, man. Mitchell Robinson gets offensive boards. He got the offensive rebound that the Knicks needed to win this finals. But At the end of the day, it's just what the Knicks need is they need a tall dude that can get those boards and
yeah. I don't know if anybody hits the offensive glass like him. That's the only thing about it.
Yeah,
even though that time we won, like you know what I mean. Him and just the collective, you know what I mean.
Yeah,
it's just crazy.
It's just tough because I think what the Knicks need is they need a center that can go in and play in the starting lineup some nights with Cat at the 4. Because Cat at the 5, we already know what that is usually. I mean, he locked in these playoffs, but does he do that over an 82-game stretch, and will he do that again in the next playoffs is the question. They need a guy that can go in there and play some minutes with Cat, you know, in the big man role. Because Mitch, at a starting position, playing too much minutes, he gets hurt too often. He gets too many fouls. Gets to the free throw line too often, and it sucks when you like have to take him out immediately and put in someone like Huck Porty, or you run the risk of the fouls that Cat gets. But man, we just talked for 55 minutes on the NBA. This was actually a really good chat. We got over 1,000 people in here, which is absolutely insane.
What's up? Oh, we busted. We busted.
All us, man. We did not bust.
No. I mean, we busted last time. Whatever, man. They know what I'm talking about. We appreciate y'all. Shout out to Paulie and Connectin. Make sure y'all come over to a different conversation, man, for sure, man.
Yes, sir. Make sure you there's a giveaway going on right now about who's going to win the MVP next year, and then you could get a Stephon Castle bag work live in either the Discord or in this live chat. Shout out to Paulie for setting this all up. Paulie's been doing some amazing things. On ESPN, doing everything that he does for us on Collectin and Connectin. We are absolutely excited.
The merch store's up and everything.
Yes, the merch store, yes. Oh my God. Hold
on. Make sure y'all check it out.
Let me go pull that up. We can get some sick merch. Actually, thank you for the reminder. I might actually go order a shirt right now. Different conversation. Hey, hold on. Let's see. I'm pulling it up right now. I'm going to share my screen. Look at the merch store right here. This is officially the first merch to ever be sold for us as well, which is awesome. So here it is. This is the shirt right here. $13.48, y'all. You can just get a different station shirt. Cam and I are going to be talking about doing our own merch. That's something that we have always been inspired to do. Make sure you guys go subscribe to a different conversation over on YouTube. It's the first thing that pops up. We're on X, we're on Instagram, we're on TikTok, we're on everything besides Snapchat because we're not gooners, we're not freaky like that. But at the end of the day, come check us out. We're gonna go on and get on out of here, wrap up this Friday night stream. Thank you for watching. Enjoy the music. We are out.
A different conversation. A different conversation. Tune in. We here tonight. End of the week, I'm checking the score. Names on the board, and I want a little more. Different take when the whole crew talk. Same old teams, but the view still sparks. We've been collecting every win, every bruise, every close call, every headline news. Breaking it down where the real ones sit. One more round and we all say this. Tune in, lean in, bring your own opinion. Tell me who you riding with, tell me what you feeling. From the first whistle to the last play gone, we've been on that same page all week long. A different conversation. A different conversation. Break it down with a fella